NDL, what is up? Welcome back. It's been quite a while, but here we are for the third episode of the Hot Route. I'm here with Matt, who is currently locked in a battle with one of the league favorites, Freak. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Good, Drew. How are you, man? How you been?
Been good, man. As I just mentioned, it's been a while since we've been here. A lot of that's on me. To be honest, there has been a lot going on in my personal life, from some medical issues for my personal self, nothing big, but just things that have, you get into things like that, and sometimes it weighs you down mentally a little bit. And at the same time, my 14-year-old car went ahead and blew the fuck up on me. So I've been in the process of purchasing a new vehicle, which in the current economy is not a cheap thing. So
No, it's not.
wrestling with the finances of that is kind of a burden as well. But that those are in the end. I'm 75, 80 looking back. I'm not going to remember that anyway, right? So I'm trying not to get myself bogged down with all of that. So other than that, things are great. Uh, just got off a spring break week with the kids. Took it off. Um, Sammy would appreciate this. I took him down to the city. It actually worked out nice. My one kid's a Penguins fan, and obviously I'm a Rangers fan, and so was my younger one. So the Rangers actually had a home game against the Sabres on a Wednesday, and then the Penguins played at the Devils, which is right across the river, the next night, Thursday. So we went down midweek and caught a couple NHL games, one at Madison Square Garden, which is one of my favorite places on earth. So, yeah, that's how I'm doing. I
Oh,
got to say,
that's
I'm pretty good, man.
yeah, that's really cool. I've never even been to New York, but it's such an iconic. I mean, there's so much history in that place, right? From Knicks to different sporting events, wrestling.
Right. And yeah, I mean, it. It is. It is one of those iconic, and it's interesting that you say that because towards in the third period of one of the TV timeouts, they got 3 minutes, so they showed like a montage of Bruce Springsteen, Ozzy Osbourne, all the famous athletes, just the quotes about what an iconic place it is and like special place to play. So it is. It's crazy, man. You just like any of these places, like uh, Wrigley, right? I went to Wrigley with my kid a couple years ago for some Pirates games, and it's like some people think it's weird, but like as a diehard sports fan, it does feel different going into these places that are still standing from the early 1900s. It really is, and they do such a great job there about keeping it the old timey feel. Wrigley that is, and Madison Square Gardens had many updates, and it's very modern, but it just still has that mystique to it. But
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure. And I mean, if you're like most, I think most true sports fans are really into history and lore, and you know what I mean. And
for sure.
what the actual fuck just happened?
Turnover,
Yeah, I just fumbled it in the end zone,
hit
like
stick, or
walking
just
in.
just just a
No,
lame ass ball carrying stats.
yeah, he didn't even tackle me. Like he just like I don't know. I don't know what just happened.
So what you so tell me now again, I have been, I keep up on the live chat always. It was funny. I think I chimed in on something recently in Razorback. I'm pretty sure it was him. It was like, that's pretty impressive going back that far, but I always try to make sure that at a minimum, even if I'm not participating, I keep up with the live chat. But I
Mhm.
don't know. So what is this spring tournament that Andy's running? How's that working? You're not Minnesota now. I know you got somebody else, but who do you got?
If I had to be Minnesota, I wouldn't be playing. I'll tell you that right now. I he basically anybody that wanted to keep the team they had could, and some guys did. I think Pat kept Indiana, Andy kept Penn State, and then the other guys were put into a draft. So we did a random draft order. Um, and there's a pretty good chunk of people. I mean, I think we got like 22.
That's not bad.
So we'll do the NFL style, right? So um, 24 we might have. So 12 on one side, 12 on the other, eight make the playoffs kind of thing.
Nice. That's cool
Um,
because that's a little bit different format than he's run the other, off-season tournaments as, I think. I feel like. Um,
yeah.
so that's actually I like the sounds of that one. That sounds a little bit refreshing. But 22 seems about right. I mean, the number of people that I've seen, comment in a live chat about, even yourself, can't wait to deinstall this game. I think Smitty had said the same thing, and then somebody asked him, "Well, aren't you playing in this fucking tournament?" I said, "Yeah, last minute dumb decision," but um, that I'm kind of there too. I got to be honest with you. Like I enjoy getting on and playing my games. I've played a ton of exciting games this season. The results haven't been there. Picked up a couple recent wins of the user variety, not just sim wins, which are starting to come in for guys now. But I just played phony at UAB now to a 1 point game. I ultimately lost. He brass balls me and went for two for the win or fucking go home losing, and he got it.
No.
Almost user swatted that bitch, but he got it. So all credit to phony for being willing to do that. I forget who did do you know who Jared Allen ULM just lost to? Was it wasn't Drewski, was it?
No, I
I
think it
forget who
was.
it was.
I don't know who it was.
Anyway,
I have to go
it
look.
doesn't matter. But I almost beat him to it, dude. I only lost to him just in this past block here, 41-38. I had him on the ropes. I
Oh
thought he was gonna
wow.
run away with it early, but I found some ways to slow him down a little bit. And I gotta tell you, dude. I know that you've talked about your struggles with Minnesota, which we'll get into, but what I've struggled up to this point was I had no downfield passing game, and as of late, I've been able to kind of piece that together. Which again, I'm not the record isn't strong, but it's coming around for me. But
Hmm.
tell me about your 4-8 here at Minnesota, because I know it's been a tough year for you.
I mean, it's kind of the story of my NDL life, man. I mean, I'm 4-8, but I've lost games by, like, if I go through my schedule, right, I lost by 3 points, 1 point, 1 point, 2 points, 6 points. You know what I mean? So, like, that 4-8 could be 9-3 just as easily. Um,
How many of those
you
are you
know,
getting? Are you failing to go in and put together a game winning drive, or are people just putting together game winning drives on you and you just can't get a stop?
so I had one where I threw a pick late. I think that was Northwestern. Northwestern, I was driving and threw a late pick. Arizona State, I missed the game winning field goal. And then the rest of them were like, they scored at the end. Like the Nebraska one hurt really bad because he was driving. I read the play that he was going to run and lurked an interception with the slot corner, and they called it back for offsides. The defense.
Oh, that's brutal, dude. Uh,
Like it's been that kind of year, man. Like it's the Purdue game. I scored a touchdown. They overturned it for offensive pass interference. The next play, he got a pick six. Like it's just one of those. It's like when they say like you see in live chat, people will be like, "How's he gonna lose this one?" Like they're not just saying that to be rude. Like they're like it's a thing. Like it's weird, man. But
what?
most of it at the end of the day, most of it is my turnovers, right?
Sure.
Like
Yep.
if I don't stop turning the ball over, I'm never gonna win consistently.
And I think that's a theme for everybody, right? Because I mean that's what helped me just the other night. I mean, I don't think that I've ever had a plus 4 or 5 turnover margin on somebody, but I got to ice the other night. He wasn't able to get his option game going on me, and he had to try to push it downfield. And listen, I wasn't user lurking. That is something I've still got a lot to work on, but it matters. I mean, turnovers are the. If I could go back, I'm not going to recount it, but I check that every time, right? And like play the game back in my head as I'm looking through the stats and everything. And the number of times that the points/possessions I lose by matches my turnovers, it's probably 90% of the time. I mean, it's just
Yep.
a little less than I get fucking blown out. You know what I mean? A fair share, but yeah. I mean, you're right, and I think wasn't your the one where you missed a field goal, um, that glitchy type of shit that you thought like where it um the meter either didn't
Yeah, I
stop
felt
or
like it moved. I don't know. I didn't move it. You know, I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe I could have just let my
oh, that's right. It was
finger
your
slip.
arrow, right? It wasn't your power meter. It was the arrow. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Cause I actually so I which was it? I had a game that I lost, or yeah, it was no, it doesn't matter. But there was one where I missed an extra point, and it was just ridiculous because like I always on an extra point, you know how you let go basically when it gets into the green, the bottom of the green, right? There's so much time left to the top, but I let go of that button and that puppy just kept going. I could have swore I was
Hmm.
like, "There's no way." And then I forget who it was, but somebody else missed. I think it might have been Big Rye Army because I won 17-16. This is early in the season. Yes, this is exactly what it was. I lost my first game of the season to Toledo 38-37 because of that. And then no joke, turn around the next game and I win 17-16 because this same shit happened to Big Rye and he missed an extra point. So like, you know, I'm sure some people will tell you that there's not, you know, for your situation, oh, the arrow didn't move. Like I'm going back to the live chat discussion at that time, and I remember, you know, you had shared the video and people had commented on it, but there's no doubt some janky shit that goes on with the with EA there in terms of and those weird fumbles or snaps that'll go 40 yards backwards. I got hit with one of those the other night, but luckily I was
You know,
the game I was up. But
you know what bothers me most about the game in general, and I think, I think some people, there's a few people who like try to maintain the game is good. Like the game's not good. It's not good because of fundamentally how they, I think how they program it is bad. Like anything that's based on like animations and you know if this player does this, then this player's going to do that. You know that kind of shit instead of
sure,
just physics. Like it should just be based on physics, like height, weight, speed. You know that stuff should matter, and it just doesn't. But like what really bothers me personally is just how random it feels. Um, you know, there's times where like I'll go like that game I played this week when I went into that game like probably two drives in, I was like, oh my god, my team is not here. Like I have no control of what's happening in this game. Like they're the defense isn't moving, the offensive line's not blocking. Like just really really weird. Like that kind of stuff really bugs me a lot. Um, like if I'm perfectly happy to go, oh, I screwed up here, I screwed up there. When you walk into a game and you just can't do anything, it's like, come on, EA, like what are we doing here?
dude, and I don't like. I mean, the physics based versus animation based, I don't know where that comes from. Um, like, is there did games when they were developing them, you know, decades ago, were they all animation based, and at some point, like this physics based thing came into play, like with the motion capture, where they wear all the sensors and shit? Is that where they get the physics based from, like the actual recording of the athletes' motions and all these things?
I really don't know. I assume though. My understanding was that the stuff that they're recording is the animations, right?
Okay,
Like,
I see. Yep. And then the physics
and
must
they're
be in the
working
coding or something.
right.
I
Like,
see.
so how you know 155 pound scat back should interact with like RB said something this week where he's like, oh, running backs break tackles against D linemen all the time. Like, yeah, they do, but like 155-pound running backs don't truck defensive tackles. They shed them. They kind of shake them off at times,
Right.
you know. But that's a completely different thing than body slamming a defensive tackle. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
it's just silly, and some of it is just like the visual representation is probably wrong, right? Like the game wants the okay, this running back's going to win this interaction or this lineman's going to win this interaction, and it just probably picks the wrong way to show that. If that makes sense,
Sure. And again, I mean, we're
because there's probably like I would assume there's 8 different ways to code this clashing of these two players. Does that?
We don't even got to get into the weeds there, but I guess where it makes me interested is like guys will talk about 2K games or games from back in the day. Like, well, we had this in 2004. What the fuck is 2026? And like that's where I get
Right.
confused. Is like, and I'm with you guys. I don't have that type of visual memory and like keep these things right from back then to the same degree others do. But I have played enough and remember enough to know exactly what they're saying. You know what I mean? And so like
Mm,
that's where I just don't understand when we talk about like physics based versus animation based. You would think with the advances that we've made that the game should have progressed significantly, but it's not just the features, that we're losing. There's all those different idiosyncratic things that have been in different games throughout the years, the live weather, whatever, the presentation stuff that have been awesome, and that's what guys remember. But even just the gameplay itself seemed in at times in the past to be better product than we have now. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But again, I mean, I think some of us romanticize a little bit of the past too.
Yes.
If we're being honest with ourselves. None of them have ever been perfect. Like the games have always, had issues, uh, one way or another. But but I do think in 26 there's some things just feature wise that don't make sense. I mean, even just us losing the ability to select fields at the very beginning of this game cycle and
Yep.
never getting it back.
Correct.
Like it doesn't make sense.
I agree. Um, I like your thought about the romanticization of it because that makes me wonder too. Like, is it entirely revolving around that and the fact that I didn't play games as a kid for, the quote sim experience that we're striving for here. I played it for the arcade bullshit that we now avoid. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
I like you say there you probably got the beer goggles on in terms of the historical assessment of game quality and like
Well, we're also sort of a very niche community,
correct.
right?
Yes.
Like we're not the base focus of this game
Correct by no
by any
means.
means.
Yeah, the ultimate team, right? Exactly what guys were talking about earlier today. I think it was today, I'm pretty sure. Um, Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And the way I think about that, like one of the memories that I would liken this to is like I remember I didn't have PlayStation 2, original Xbox, none of that growing up. The only way I got a PlayStation 2 when I was like 16, I think, was that my buddy had one that wasn't working and his parents bought him a new one and he gave it to me and I took the fucker apart and cleaned everything up and it worked. So I got myself a PlayStation 2.
Nice.
But I'd go to my buddy's house all the time, and we'd play games. And I remember when the PlayStation 2 came out and we got Tomb Raider on there, and you're like, oh my God, these graphics are so great and all this. And like, you go back and look now, and her 8-bit tits were like the fucking as sharp as the pyramids. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so funny. So, in that way, I think a lot of it can be attributed to exactly what you're saying. But anyway, um, so your season is done, right? 4-8. My season has one game to go. I'm gonna play Randog at Rice tomorrow night. But third
What do you had
season
on
of the
Rainbow?
game cycle. So I think probably everybody's burnt out. But what is your not just your season, but just looking at season 35 here as a whole? What are your thoughts so far? Obviously, it's far from over.
I think it's a fun one. I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, we get a little bit of like it starts to feel a little bit samey um, sometimes. Like we're gonna be talking about 6 or 8 of the same guys every postseason, right?
Yes. Yep.
Um, and it's just a matter of like, are they still at the same team they had before? Do they have a new team? Whatever. Like, are they gonna make it this time? Is this person? There's not a lot of like shocking things going on. I don't. I
Right.
don't think.
And so and that's why I brought that up because I appreciate you thinking in that light and discuss because I'm thinking from a different because of just that, right? There is that semi-repetitive nature to our seasons, and so you kind of have to dig a little deeper to find storylines that make the season more interesting, right? And like I wished I had thought to do this sooner. I think I'll start doing it from this season forward. Maybe I can go back and piece together at least the full 26 game cycle, but it would be fun to put together a historical record of like significant events from each season. Like cross stream sniping might not happen for another 10 seasons, could not happen ever again. You know, like I mean these are the things
Yeah.
that like you want to be able to talk about in the future and laugh about and all this, but like that was so fucking wild to me. Like I that was the one thing that I never thought that I would see. You know what I mean? I guess that's pretty naive to think, but to me it was a little bit surprising that somebody thought they would get away with it, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And I've talked to him quite a bit. He's a really good dude. I think he just takes it seriously to a level that even some of us who I've had my fair share of taking this way too seriously.
Sure.
I think he takes it to another level
Yeah.
beyond that, and doesn't know how to like. I don't think he consciously was like. It's hard to explain, but I would bet he just sort of like maybe he did stop in just to hear Sammy at first, and then you know, oh my god, bro! Like, sorry,
You're good, man. Who's Freak?
cause a fumble. I cause a fumble, and three dudes run across it, and then
Who
he gets it back.
who's Freak playing with?
Like, Oregon,
Oregon. Okay.
yeah. But anyways, I don't think Cross is like, okay, this dude's a cheater. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that. I think he just sort of,
Me either. And like that, like I've never. I don't think maybe I hit him up, for something. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever talked to him. Point being, I'm not gonna speak on the guy. You know what I mean? I'm just more speaking on that event happening. You know what I mean? Like that's so
sure.
just when you're going back through like the Jose pregnancy from last season, you've got like certain things this season, um, people leaving like Weasel, uh, all those little things. It'd be fun, to just have that on record and be able to just pull up. Oh, when was that? Oh yeah, that was season 36. So and so, this and that. I think I might try to just and it's nothing important, just fucking log in a document and keep it. But um, speaking of Weasel, I know that there's obviously two sides to that one, and look, rightfully he's gone, I guess, because we follow, sir, and Nidler gave him plenty of chances, but. I will say I am a Weasel guy. I don't think that the live chat Weasel, as we've said, is the same as the normal Weasel, if you will. But the way I would put it is sometimes Weasel weaseled so hard he didn't even know he was weaseling, and I think that was one of those things because but this is why the interactions with him, even though they were like ridiculous at times, and I can understand for like the people involved in it, it's not funny. I completely like sympathize with both sides of it, but like and I know he's still part of the NDLU there, and so like I'm not bad mouthing him. Like this is, I'm trying to be like he's almost like your retarded cousin who's like annoying sometimes, but you just know that they're your retarded cousin and you love them because of that. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
I
yeah.
totally get why it came to the point it did, and Nidler had enough, and I respect that entirely. I hope Weasel can fucking figure out whatever, and that he can get an invite back in future seasons and still be himself without whatever we have to do to get to those points. You know what I mean? Because I thought he would. I mean, Herb Splats and that shit was fucking great. You know what I mean? Like he did enjoy being here, and the New York mentality. I'm an upstate New Yorker, not a downstater, but we all have a similar one. It's a little tougher down there, and just I shouldn't say tougher per se, but like a little more fucking aggressive, if you will. Whether that do man, one of my buddies from Long Island, you ought to see the way these people drive. Like I'm fairly aggressive, but it's like racing, man. You give them an inch, they'll take it. It doesn't matter if they're taking your back bumper with them when they swerve in there, but they'll get there. But I just feel like I like authenticity, right? And like even though some of it was not good, in many ways, he was at least an authentic person, and I appreciated
Right.
that. But
He
anyway,
was always him.
right. So I know he's still around talking to some guys. I hope maybe we see him back sometime. But I'm just trying to think what else has gone on this season. I mean, we've got the stream snipe was a whoa moment. Uh, I'm not
Speaking of,
other
we
than rule
talked
breaks.
about
I
this.
don't even want to talk fucking the rules and shit. Has anything else been significant this season?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, on the topic of Weasel, I mean, what are the odds? Like, I posted, I think I said this in, might have been NDL chat, but like, you talk about killing off a bloodline. Like, Weasel gets booted from West Virginia.
Yeah.
His team last season was Auburn. He's gone. The guy that took over for Weasel as West Virginia, he's gone.
What was the guy that went to West Virginia this season? Didn't he?
He was up like 50 points
Yeah, that's right.
his
And he was
first
like
game.
brand new too, right? And brand new, and
Yeah.
they, oh man, I
And
guess it's
clearly
just
didn't read the rules.
right.
Like, I mean, if and like there was a couple of people like, oh, it's his first game, give him a. No, bro. Like, if this is your first game, what my first game in the NDL 20 years ago, whatever it was,
Yeah,
24 years ago, I read the rule book, I printed it out and had it beside me
yeah,
when I played my first game.
yeah.
Like, no, you don't get a pass because you didn't read the rules.
I was so nervous for like probably my entire first season. Make like, oh, am I fucking playing the NDL way all? You know what I mean? And like, it's just
Right.
kind of funny to see. And I'm one. I'm, again, same thing. I don't can't speak for other people, but I wonder, in that early. Let's put it this way, right? It gets brought up when we talk cheesy shit, but the rocket toss, right? Like that was a season 29 and 30 thing, and so it's like I feel like people were oh, the NDL way, like early on, and I feel like we've kind of that's a sliding glass door, right? Like, but I don't know. And now I just am comfortable in my gameplay. It's more so, the comfortability. But like somebody like that guy maybe just flat out isn't cut out for any type of rule set. You know what I mean? Just some people can't fucking
Right.
do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think something that I talked to, like me and Beer Cup were talking today. I think there is an element that some of us old guys have to just accept that a lot of the people we're gonna be recruiting at this point only know loot box gaming culture.
It's yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know what it means to be in a league and play the game just because it's fun to play the game.
Right.
Like, the only thing they have is, if I win, I get more cards and I get more loot and I get more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. a hundred
Um,
percent.
and we have to sort of accept that, like, that's the kind of people that are going to be coming. And if we can at least get them to just follow the rules, we're probably winning. We're probably doing better than you know.
And the thing is, like, and my wife and I talk about this exact type of shit a lot, right? Because we have a 9 year old. He does play Fortnite, and like, he's gotten V-Bucks. We've given him some money for that, but we have the honest conversations, right? Like, there are limits to this shit, et cetera, et cetera. But you can't even blame these kids and, young adults now, per se, because you just go and you read about all of it social media, they just engineer this shit. They've under they the brain, we know brain science
Mhm.
relative. It is fucking
It's
unbelievable that they can engineer children's brains, basically. I mean, any human, right? Advertising has been around forever, but the degree to which they're doing it now, uh
Yep.
and like you say, the loot box culture, that's exactly like I was. My wife's never played video games ever. Maybe a little Mario Kart, but it's like Sonic back in the day. You fucking you lose your gold rings. You start back at the beginning. Mario, same thing.
Right.
Like you had to figure out a way to persevere and succeed, and like the flip side of that is the same thing here. Kind of where we're talking is like you have to be willing to play within the confines of the league, not just the fucking runaway. To me, I guess this guy probably scoring points is satisfying, right? The same way they've made
Mhm.
opening packs in MLB The Show or loot boxes and whatever. To me, it's got to be just a dopamine hit or something that people can't fucking help themselves. I don't know what else it could be.
Well, you also have, I mean, there's also something to be said for we have an added element here of media and discussion of guys and
Right.
like what, if you do well, you get talked about more. And there's 136 people to talk about you instead of, 30 in a dynasty.
Right.
There's going to be podcasts about it. They're going to talk like that's a hard thing for some people to let go of is, that attention that sort of we uniquely have here
Yeah.
versus other ways to play this game.
No, I think that's fine because I mean, you're in there too. So like, I'm glad you say that because I mean, I don't give a shit, right? Like, I'm never gonna be one of those guys, so I'm not here for any of that. But it's funny in the media chat when Tim will put up, initial games of the block, and in the section where he's and here's some lesser highlighted coaches and such, and my name's gotten in there. My game, I should say, has gotten in there a few times, and every
Correct.
time people give their opinions about games to keep, games to get rid of, games to add, my shit gets the fucking strike through line from the get go every time, and so it does not bother me one bit. But to your point, like some people maybe I've never really thought about that, how it's not just log on, play the game, log off, look at the results yourself. But there is so much more to it here that definitely probably throws some people for a loop.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're someone that I mean, there's so many different things that people deal with in the real world, right? And like we kind of transfer those into our hobbies, whatever we have going on, Like I know there's been times where I've been frustrated with real world stuff and sort of taking it out on NDL stuff, right?
100%.
Um, so like if you're a person who's maybe not getting the attention you think you deserve, and you know what I mean? Like there's so many ways that these sort of personality things can manifest themselves in a group like this. That it's just really interesting. It's an interesting place and how people react to it when they're new and how they move through it as they stay longer.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm not going to talk a ton of rules, but like, I just want to talk about Jet real quick because the whole, and I know we've got a couple more guys that have fallen victim to it now too, but the moving to defender thing, like, I see both sides of it. Look, I'm not gonna hate on the ruling. The ruling is the ruling. Um, but I could also understand from his perspective. Again, I also see Pat had a lot to say about that, and some guy like, even though if it looks subtle, how can we know that you're not using it? Dude, it's so subjective, and so that's where it being subjective enough with that tiny movement, I just thought he ended up being a pretty damn good sport about it, and he probably could have been a lot of a more of a fucking sourpuss about it. So just a nice shout out to Jet for fucking just taking it on the chin and dealing with it. Because of all the
It's
rule
I
breaks,
mean,
that's
one of those videos was like super clear. Like he
a
definitely
yes, and I don't even remember which
like
one. I don't remember, but I agree. And like even Shoddy, who was like came back. Okay, yeah, yeah. So like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like there were some that were or borderline, I guess, and one that is evident. And so the evident one takes the credence away from the others to a degree. Again, I'm not
right.
arguing that. Just wanted to give the guy the credit because I think a lot of people wouldn't have handled it as decently as he did.
Yeah, it's funny, man. He's the one. He kind of spurred some of this conversation, and this is no hate on him, gameplay wise, but like for me, like I watch him. He's a newer guy. He
Yeah.
kind of has, I would call it like a cut style. Like I mean, he kind of plays cut football, like
From the
without.
offensive side of the ball or like
Yeah, like
yeah.
he's playing even defensive. Like a lot of the stuff he runs is like super meta. Like all the whatever they're doing in those modes. Like
Okay.
he's got a pretty good handle on it. You know what I mean?
I don't. So
Um,
I don't see that on the defense. I'm not in tune enough to know. But like on the offensive side, if somebody's doing it to me, I can at least be okay. I kind of see what you're doing here. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
but he was Liberty last season. I'm pretty sure, right? He took over for Sutton, and Sutton and I had played every season that I had been in the league. So we just decided to like keep it going, and then he disappeared, obviously, with his fucking that guy. Talk about a fucking crash out. Like we've seen some crash outs, but that wasn't even isolated to beer cop. That was man, that ran deep. Apparently, I didn't know how far the sudden
Oh
coach
yeah, that
report
was
hate and
just
everything
him.
went. Jesus, but
That's who he
no.
is.
So I think I'm pretty sure he might have played his other block game first. I don't know, but I might have been Jets game first game in the NDL officially, season wise, and he fucking cooked me. I think he probably did beat me by 35, but I definitely remember him having some offensive talent. But um,
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm like I said, it's not a knock per se on him. I think when I say like I need to kind of adjust,
yeah,
I think that like he's sort of the if we're gonna get better players in,
yep,
they're gonna kind of have that feel to them of a
sure.
cut player because that's what this generation of guys has played.
Yeah, and so you're talking about bringing your viewpoint and trying to modernize it with the younger generation, if you can.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, one topic that I know you like to talk about, or not, I shouldn't say talk about, but like, uh, you have an opinion on is the whole G5 darling to P4, and and again, that's not just an opinion. Like it has borne itself out in fact a fair amount of times with guys not seeing the same types of success. But who if you have anybody in mind, who's somebody from this season, like a coach Jared Allen, who's somebody that you could see potentially having that P4 success, and who's somebody you think might not have that P4 success?
But I think Jared's the easy answer, right?
Yeah.
Who I brought in, by the way,
Did you?
brought him in.
Where
Yeah.
from where?
From a dynasty he ran actually.
Oh,
I
cool.
tried to play in his dynasty, but it was just I'm at such a disadvantage in leagues like that because I only know how to play NDL,
Yeah.
and it's so ingrained that when I get into a thing like that where the rules are really really loose, I just get mollywopped.
Yeah.
He's a really good dude, and I watched him play a couple of his games in there, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, he looks like one of us, you know. So sent him the info, and he came over, but he's a really good dude. I think he'll do really well just because he is a football coach,
Yeah.
right? I think like
Right.
that stuff does translate in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, right? Um, but I mean, some of the guys down there are like in down there, in G5 right now that are really sort of having really good seasons have already been really good at, or solid at P4 level, like
Yeah.
Ryan Collins and
Yeah.
Drewski, you know.
Ryan Collins was one I was just thinking of. Obviously he's been, and so like he's shown that he can have success at both levels, like you just said. I wonder. I haven't watched a lot of his gameplay, so I can't, give you anything like that. But you just wonder if he's one of these guys next in line that can finally get the things to fall in line for him and put together one of those 10-2, 11-1, 12-0 seasons. Because he hasn't made a playoff yet, as far as I remember. Right? He's been very close.
Right.
Obviously, last season with
Yeah, no,
BYU,
I
he
think
was
he
in
was
that.
8-4 at BYU.
Yeah. So
Um, it's
he,
not bad at all. I
yeah.
take 8-4.
So again, I don't think that's not he doesn't fit the criteria of the question, but that's fine because he's a good guy to highlight as someone that you might think could be on that list of coaches that next breaks through and finds himself in a CFP. But a lot of that would probably be contingent on his willingness to go back to P4, maybe because you just have 11 chances to find your way in there versus one for how many teams, so I guess part of
Yeah.
that is dependent on him going back. We'll see what he
Well, I
does.
mean, we don't know what his goals are,
Right,
right?
exactly.
I think there's a lot of us who like I don't know if he's one of them, but we're at that point where we're like, you know what, like I want to just get a team that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, that I can play with, I can not be horrible with. Um, Whatever happens, happens, kind of thing.
One of my favorite guys in the league. A man of few words, but when you're in person, funny as hell. Wilds. Uh, he
Mm.
started. He when we when 25 came out and we were here, he was Iowa, and he had some pretty damn good seasons. And then he went to Texas Tech, and you know, who cares about my expectations? But when he went there, I thought, oh yeah, I mean that's he could probably do something here, and I feel like obviously his own expectations too. He probably didn't live up to, but funny to see him back in the Big Ten now with what you would think is a mid team, and he's back to close to 10 wins here. He's got one game left. I'm not sure against who or what, but um, he's just I feel like he's one of those under the radar coaches just because he's not in the Discord very much, but uh, he's good. He's always a tough out.
Oh, he plays so well with Maryland too.
Yeah,
Like me and him have scrimmaged quite a bit this
yeah.
season. Dude, he's so good with that team. Like he just uses them perfectly. Um,
So I
so
mean,
I was really happy to see him do well.
and that's something else that you've brought up too is just not even just from a roster construction standpoint, like you were talking about with your lineman, where you found this high rated power on a guy who is overall not good, but you put him into the lineup, and sure enough, now you're moving the ball again. But same thing, like I'm not sure what it is about Maryland, but what it is about these teams that Wilds is a good fit for, or the team is a good fit for him, and what wasn't it about Texas Tech. I'm gonna have to ask him just to see, because it'd be interesting to get his take on what went wrong, at Texas Tech and how he's turned it around so quickly here at Maryland. But
Sure.
just one guy I
Well, and I
wanted to
think
highlight.
the thing to remember about him too is he left Tech, I think, voluntarily, right? Like he didn't
I Yeah,
have to
I think he
stay.
was one of those guys that graciously gave it up, so that one of the guys that it was their school could get it right. Mort,
Right.
got to respect that.
It's Dude, I'll tell you, using a really, really good team on this game, I don't get to do this very often.
Yep.
I mean, this is like driving a Ford Fiesta and working as a fucking what you call it, a valet parker, and
Yeah.
somebody pulls up a Royce. Like this is insane. I mean, I don't
uh,
understand how like people lose 7 games with teams like this. Like,
yeah. That's fucking funny, dude. Um, I'm just looking at the standings to see if there's anything else crazy that sticks out. I mean, you look at the playoff bracket. I mean, what CG is? I mean, Syracuse would be that one team that sticks out from that playoff bracket that obviously is an outlier. Um, I know did CG take Syracuse from Barakoff that he got fired, or has there been another owner in between? Do you remember?
freak had him
He
after
did
one.
have okay, all right, and it's just interesting. Like, is that a team fit thing, or is CG just a more skilled player than Mark and Freak? It doesn't matter. That's not an indictment on anybody, but overall, I would just say pretty impressive to see Syracuse uh, in the playoff bracket. Period.
Oh, for
Um,
sure. Because they're not that highly rated. Those, I mean, the defense isn't great. They don't have a bunch of game breaking wide receivers or anything. But CG's really solid, man. I mean, he's had obviously like you don't end up being the coach at Texas on accident.
right.
Like, right? I mean, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Um, and he's obviously you go into Clemson and beat Pirate. That's no slouch of a victory. So,
Right.
it's just it's interesting. I mean, the ACC itself is interesting, right? I mean, obviously Tim's going to tell us about Wake plenty, but
Yeah.
but I mean, Wake. Everybody's talking about the playoffs. Like Wake is in line to if they go win the ACC, they're in the playoff.
Yeah. Were they was that I know there's been a lot of scenarios discussed. A lot of guys opinionated about either their own position or a conference at large. But was that the scenario where they were running through the tiebreakers of who faces Wake, and then should Wake win the ACC? Weren't some guys thinking two G5s potentially? Maybe that was before ULM went out and lost in Jacksonville State, but um, I don't know. It's just
I
like
guess I mean, it's possible, but
to me that was
again, I just
crazy talk all along. I guess I don't care if Wake's the bottom team in the ACC in real life, whatever the case may be. Just like if you had at 9-3, I don't know. That's is an 11-1 in G5. That's dude. Uh, I'm I'm switching gears here on you, but we're in the playoff conversation right now. But you and I did playoff committee together. Are you ever going to do that again, or did you get your fill of that?
yeah, I would like to. I told Chip I would do it this year, but I think the Big Ten had like 4 or 5 volunteers, and somebody else got it. But yeah, I would have no problem jumping on there again. I enjoyed it, especially with the new setup that Six has. Because if you remember, he was kind of trying to work on it
Yeah,
on during our time, and from what I'm told, he's really gotten it down. So things are a lot smoother. There's a lot less sort of endless argument, no end arguments. You know.
sure. That and I so for the record, I'm not on the committee this year. This the first, I was the last 3 seasons, and I really did enjoy it. Um, they asked me if I wanted to do it again, but I just had to take a break. Um, I mean, again, we've always said on the other episodes that we'll talk honestly, but like if you do the committee the way you should, I won't call it the right way, but the way I feel like you should, it really is, even though it's minimal, still a time investment, right? And so like
Yeah.
Smitty would be an example, but man, he just like, and I like Smitty. I got nothing against him otherwise, but like I am kind of tired of the fucking committee rhetoric. Like
I mean,
I
good
get
lord,
it,
it's
but
been
like
six
I wish people
real
would
life
just
months.
respect it a little more because I think some of these guys that are going to be always near the top are never going to have to do that. And I wish we could find a way where people can recuse themselves from certain ones, but make it a requirement that at some point in time everybody serve on a CFP, or you can't
Mm-hmm.
serve a second time till everybody in the current league is because, and I know most of it probably isn't serious. RB's your guy that you can't tell whether he's always being serious or tongue in cheek. He'll obviously let you know, but like, I can't tell if fucking Smitty's being tongue in cheek or if he's still dead ass serious. And if he's still dead ass serious, it's like, let that shit go, bro. It's fucking a game. It's a season old, and like, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of
It's
fucking
still
tires me
real
out
life
to a
months.
degree, dude. Like I don't want to put in the effort to that shit if the fucking live chat turns into fuck the committee, not like discussion about the teams in that race and how that
Right.
like that's where I kind of drew the line. Like I would love to do a committee again, but I had to have a fucking season off to be honest with you.
My favorite part of committee was
Yeah.
going into live chat after the announcement and being like, these guys don't know shit, even though I was right.
Oh shit, that's funny, dude. I
But
forget.
no, I told Smitty too, like at one point, like, come on, man. Like we're talking like 4 months in real time, like real world 4 months. Like we gotta let it go, brother. Like
Yeah.
it's too much, man.
And again, I mean that's not even, I'm not even hating on Smitty. That's more like personally, it's up to me, right? I should be able to just brush that shit off and let it go. In this particular instance, I couldn't. So that's not even an indictment on Smitty. That's an indictment on my dumbass self for not being able to fucking handle it. But um, I more so the reason I needed the time off, I feel like, is because the job really isn't easy. And like when you look at this year's bracket and where the this one's not easy either. You know what I mean? Even just seating wise, etc. Some of it's easy. I won't say
Sure.
it's not, but there's still plenty of football left to be played here with CCGs whatnot. But yeah, I mean it's not doing it is a lot easier than doing it, and so like you kind of sympathize for the guys that are in the midst of it when you've done it because you know that it can be, because you want to do right by everybody and not have it be a sham job. And so like when people accuse it of being a sham job, no, motherfucker, it ain't a sham job. It's just the result that the committee decided on. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. Well, I think that is sort of a classic example of our world in general today. We have a really, really hard time as a society going. oh, that person doesn't agree with me, we just disagree,
Right.
that's okay. Like it's always like that person disagrees, he must be evil or have an agenda.
Right. Yeah. The victim mentality. Somebody's always out to get you and whatnot. Not for anybody here, but just in general, like that's a
In
huge
general, yeah.
issue for sure. All right, dude. Well, this podcast is called the Hot Route, so why don't we, in true fashion, hot route away from league talk? What do you think?
Yeah, can't wait.
Actually, dude, what? So this is not league talk per se, but it is because it. So I have been saving this, hoping to get MC on and address it live with him. No, I can't fucking wait anymore, and it's getting old enough. But like, no matter what goes on in the league, with disagreements, it doesn't matter, man. Like, and I know people don't, some people, I should say, don't enjoy the live chat, whereas others of us do, whether you're participating or just watching from afar. But like, sometimes you get a quote in the live that's just pure fucking gold. And like, you have to revisit that with the boys. So I have one from, this has to be, so this is when Weasel would have been at Auburn. This has to be 2 seasons ago now, I guess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One day I'm just scrolling through reading back, and I see a quote from MC, and it says, "This dude Weasel couldn't stop a child from opening a prescription bottle. Swiss cheese defense." And so that's funny, right? But then I keep reading, and like he must have been on a heater that day. But then he goes on about Mort. When I think Mort was it? No, I don't remember where Mort was, and it doesn't matter. But here's the quote on watching Mort. Mort's offense is like watching clams mate, and that was the end of the comment from MC. And like I just read that, I'm
I
like,
mean,
what
what
the
does that
fuck does
even
that even
mean?
mean? Exactly, dude. And so this is why, and this that's such an innocuous comment, but it got me curious, and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I don't know if he knows what he couldn't have, but it was so perfect that you almost wonder if he did, because I just googled how do clams mate, and let me tell you how clams mate. Clams breed through a process called broadcast spawning, where males and females release their reproductive cells into the water and fertilization occurs externally. So, that being the definition of how clams mate, MC was basically saying that watching Mort's offense is like watching Mort jizz all over the field. One of the fucking funniest things I've ever like pieced together in my life. And it's like eight of the
There's
most
no
stupid
way.
words ever, but the picture of that is fucking hilarious. Like I think that is the
There's no
funniest.
way he knew that.
That
There's no way he
exactly.
knew that.
There's no way he knew that, and so it's like the most offhand comment. But then to find out that clams do this, and to then liken that to Mort jizzing all over the field on offense is fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh god, so much funnier. It was funnier to be. It was funny to begin with because it's so asinine. Like it's so random. But that makes it even funnier knowing what it is. Like, oh
Exactly.
my god.
So anyway, yeah, I said, we'll get away from league talk, but like I had to share that one because I've been holding that one for so long, hoping to talk live with MC about it. But that shit was just so funny. I couldn't wait to share it anymore. So I, I definitely, this is why I scan the live chat though, because you find these little things that just make you chuckle and you remember. But anyway, um, what are you gonna
Did you
do?
happen?
Go
Did
ahead.
you happen to catch the Beatles and bacon argument?
Oh fuck yeah, my brother, my brother. Listen, I respect you, but that's un-American to not love bacon. If I have to give you my opinion in return, but um, the Beatles one, that one's, yeah, I could let that one go. I could care less, but I have pretty strong convictions about bacon, dude.
My issue is not that it's not good. My issue is that people act like it's some like Jesus touched this food and handed it. Like it is not that good. It's overrated. And it's the same argument for the Beatles. Like they're fine. They're good.
Yeah,
They did amazing things. That doesn't make them the greatest band to ever walk the earth, right? And Bacon is not as good as people pretend it is. That's all. I
That's
think I
fair.
think is this is the inverse of Creed. This is the inverse of the Creed effect. When everybody started saying like Creed is terrible, Creed is horrible. No, it's not. Creed was never horrible. They're still fun to this day.
who,
You
who
put on 6 feet from the edge, I'm singing it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Who got or gets more hate? Creed or Nickelback?
Nickelback
Yeah,
probably.
for sure, right?
Also not terrible. Also not deserving of the hate. There were so many more bands that deserve the hate
Yeah.
that they got. But that's what I mean. For it's yin and yang. For every person, people that hate Creed love Bacon.
Fair.
Inverse.
So
This
what would you if you had to, no, I shouldn't say had to, but if you were choosing to eat bacon, how would you eat it? Plain or like would you do you eat bacon on a BLT or a club sandwich only, things like that? Cuz some people won't eat bacon just as itself, you know?
so I will do a BLT because I love tomatoes.
Hell yeah.
I'll eat a tomato, little slice of tomato with salt and pepper.
Same. Put a little mayo on
After
there
I've
too
eaten it.
sometimes. Damn good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big sandwich guy. Big sandwich guy. Um,
You like hot sandwiches?
Sometimes,
Like a chicken
but
parm
not
sub or some shit?
nah. I mean, I think it comes from my love. Like, I'm a bread person. My love of like, I grew up in South Mississippi, so right next by New Orleans. So French bread,
Hell
just
yeah.
fresh bread is really, like. So, like when I'm going to pick a sandwich place, I'm picking based on the bread,
Nice.
not the
Yep.
meat.
For sure.
Um, but yeah, but I'll eat bacon. I'll eat bacon for breakfast if it's like crispy. But I think what soured me, Drew, is the subpar bacon at fast food.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. That like microwave looking flimsy ass shit.
Yes,
No
I
good.
think that's what soured me.
That's fair.
That's the problem.
Yep. I understand that. Um what I obviously you're still playing, right? You haven't deleted the game yet, but what are you going to do to fill your time when you wrap up the 26 version of college football?
Man, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I'll actually wrap it up.
Right.
Like, I love college football so much that I'm gonna probably still play.
Sure. I
Like,
go ahead.
no, that's it. I'm not gonna get away from it. I don't think
Sure.
I won't play as much probably. Like, I'll probably play more MLB.
Yep.
I downloaded Starfield the other night. I've been playing through Starfield a little
Cool.
bit. Like, I'm gonna start to branch out,
Yep.
but it's not gonna go away, much as I hate it at times.
I haven't I still, yeah, I mean, dude, I'm one of those. So, like, I'm fully honest. All the other things in my life aside that I mentioned at the beginning, too, is like, that's only part of it. I gotta be honest, dude. MLB The Show consumes me every year for at least the first month. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fucking put that shit in my veins because I could sit there and grind all night. And dude, I have pulled like 4 total diamonds out of packs in Diamond Dynasty. I don't know if you do that, but the amount of grinding I've done to the reward payoff is pathetic. But I just can't get enough of that goddamn game, dude. And it's every year. It's like a sprint because it only lasts for 4 months or so, and then I don't touch that game much either. But I cannot put the controller down on that game for at least the entirety of April and whenever it comes out in March. But that's probably
Dude,
what
it's
I'll
so
continue to
hard
do.
though. Like, it's so hard to learn that game and just get my ass beat over and over and over because guys will just throw like out of the zone and I can't stop myself.
Yeah. Do you so like Starfield you brought up. So for me MLB The Show is that one game where like I do far less. I'm still playing in the league and things, but I do far less gaming with people, and that's like the one game I don't enjoy playing college football very much anymore. Just in my own dynasty by myself, and it being in the NDL has made the game to where it's really only fun playing with the boys. You know what I mean? But MLB The
Right.
Show is like my game where I just disconnect and like I can be listening to music and not thinking about shit, just playing my game, enjoying my time. Like what game or kind of games fill that for you? Is it still sports games or like you like to venture off into other stuff too?
Yeah, it's not there's not a ton. I would like to get like I'll go through like I played through Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I really like the first one and that one, but I don't replay them. Like I know people that like 100%ed Red Dead, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, bro, like I can't. Like
Yeah.
I'll play through the story and I'm done.
Sure.
But I will probably what I'll do when you said like once I do sort of put down NCAA a little bit, I'll probably start a franchise in MLB
Yeah.
and try to really play it out as much as I can,
Sure.
um, and really get into because I do think their franchise mode isn't done bad at all.
What the how old is your younger uh son?
6.
6. Okay. The same age as my youngest. Do you play video games with your older boy, or does he has other interests?
No, so the oldest is he's 16. He's kind of an asshole. Um, the middle one's 13. He'll be 14 tomorrow, actually.
Gotcha.
Um, he plays a lot of his own stuff. He's like a big car guy, and he's got many bikes he works on out in the
Cool.
garage. And so he's an. I've never been a car person. I've always been like a, oh, will that get me from A to B, and is it comfortable? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Whereas he's like really big into motors and not sports at all. So I try to help him with it as much as I can. But shit, at this point, he knows more than I do. Um, and then the little one, I'll play Roblox with the little one
Sure.
at times.
I was just curious because, like, my older one, he'll be 10 here in May, but we'll play college football together and we'll play, NHL together. It's just funny. Like, football, I can't really talk shit to him because he's not very good at it. He's got a lot to learn and he just doesn't have the patience, especially with his dad, you know what I mean, to sit there and
Sure.
listen to me critique it and tell. So he pretty much with that one tells me to fuck off. But with NHL, he plays hockey. That's his sport. He's very in tune with it. So we play very competitive games when we get to playing NHL, and it's just it. I don't get on the mic when I play NDL games. One, I can't fucking focus, and two, like some of the shit that comes out of my mouth is fucking not safe for NDL. But there's just so much enjoyment in being able to play with your kids and like play it not like shittily to let them stay in it, but actually be able to play them and like when you score on them, like be able to let out a cathartic fuck yeah, shit,
Yeah.
get shit on. You know what I mean? Like it feels so goddamn good to do that to your own kid, even more than it does to do it to some random fucking dude on the internet. You know what I mean?
It does. It does.
But
Me and the oldest used to play. My oldest was a soccer player
yep,
until he quit. He played for years and years, and he's pretty good, like really good at FIFA. So we would play that together a couple years back, and to be able to like he's good enough that I can actually rub it in when I do win.
yep,
Those are fun. Those are really fun.
absolutely, dude. What I'm just thinking back to you. So like did you would get together with the boys on a Friday or Saturday night? Did you ever do that back in the day? Like 3, 4 guys have a sleepover. What games would you guys be playing?
Oh yeah, there was three main ones. It was GoldenEye, NFL Blitz, and WCW NWO.
Fuck
Those were
yeah,
the
dude.
three.
Yeah, that's awesome. Goldeneye was on ours. Did oh dear lord, why is it oh, Super Smash Brothers. Did you ever play that?
No, I never. People talk about it. I never touched it. I don't even know what it is.
Oh, really? Oh, so, dude, that was a great one. I mean, listen, this is where, like, sometimes I probably sound fucking stupid because I'll say things and it's the whole what you feel like you remember it, but you don't really remember it, even though you have this quote unquote vivid memory. But, like, so it was all different things. Like, Zelda was on there, different, like, Jigglypuff and Pikachu. Like, just all different characters. I forget which studio or not like like the Marvel universe, like whatever their fucking affiliation was, because obviously with rights or but like, and it was just a brawl, a battle game, and like it was fucking awesome, dude. I don't even know how to describe it. Guys that played it would know probably the same fucking feeling, but just like Goldeneye was. It's the same type of thing. But like, I used to love playing games with the boys until you literally could not fucking keep your eyes open to play them any longer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's just such a core memory for me, is those Friday and Saturday nights of doing that like when you are finally able to do that with your own kids, it kind of it gives you a little bit of that back. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this. This is an odd sort of connection, but I was never really good at the fighting games because I could never remember the sequences. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat, like I get my ass whipped because I can't remember the stuff that other guys could remember, like X, up, down, left, right, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the guys that were great at that are probably really good at this version of college football, right? Like oh yeah, just set if you just do this and hot route that and move this guy here, boom,
Yeah.
wide open. But I
Yeah.
can't remember that shit. Like I'm just playing on feel, you know?
Same. Yeah. And what systems, again, age doesn't matter, but like what systems did you start with? Like the first system that I ever played on was Sega. So like what did you start with?
Original Nintendo. Like
Original Nintendo.
take it out, blow in it, can't save games.
Yeah.
Old school Nintendo. And then Sega, and then I was a PlayStation guy throughout. I've only ever had an Xbox one time,
Yep.
and it got the red ring after like 6 months.
Yeah. I went through that too. That was annoying. I forget, and you could like do some shit. I sent mine in, the one time, but then after that, like you could do some shit to like take it apart and clean some or what. It was fucking ridiculous, but we've come a long way from those days. Because I remember, dude, what a talk about a shitty feeling when you see that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Um, dude, so like this one's a little bit off the cuff. I guess random for NDL podcast, but do you read books?
Yeah,
It's a
as
lot
much
of
as I
people don't. You
can,
know what I
you
mean?
know.
Yeah. So like, I don't read a ton of books, but like I read fast. So like when I could consume a ton of books, but like, uh, have you read any books lately? Like what do you read? Sports,
Um,
war, mystery, murder.
so I will. I don't do a lot of nonfiction. If I do nonfiction, it's like my first novel I ever read. I was like 10, and I read *The Rainmaker* by John Grisham,
Hmm.
which is I've been big, always been a big Grisham fan. So I'll read anything he does. But right now I'm reading through *Swing Your Sword*, which is the Mike Leach autobiography.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's awesome. I should pick that up.
Yeah, it's really good.
That is an eccentric character right there. I can only imagine the detail that they can give you there that has never been shared on television.
There's so many good stories, man. Like there's so many stories even that are out just, that people forget. Like, he was a coordinator at Oklahoma. Not long. He was only there a year. But in the Texas OU game, I don't know if you ever heard this story. Before the Texas OU game, when he was offensive coordinator, he drew up a fake, because they'll script the first 10 or 15 plays.
Right. Yep.
He drew up a fake 10 or 15 play script and had one of the assistants intentionally drop it
Oh,
in front of the Texas people. And the Texas people went and took it and thought they had Oklahoma's opening script.
that's awesome, dude. That's classic. That is pure gamesmanship. And like in today's world, with modern technology and surveillance, you can't do. That's a totally innocuous thing, but like that type of gamesmanship stuff in general, like you just don't see that anymore. I don't feel like in any sport,
Right.
even like
Well, people are so afraid now of, what others might say or,
right, and probably what microphones pick up that they didn't back in the day. Because like, well, you know what else is interesting though? Like I forget who I was having this conversation with, but to to that same thing, the gamesmanship, like it used to be, even if it wasn't like a classic rivalry, any any two professional sports teams, when you stepped onto the same sport or court or field, like it was fucking battle. You know what I mean? And like
But
there was no love lost on a battlefield in the sporting arena. And then in today's world, like everybody daps each other up. They're fucking, which is cool. Like I'm not saying that's like progressive, right? And there's nothing wrong with evolving, but it is interesting to see kind of how we went from like fuck you, don't talk to me, I'll fucking kill you, to like what up, homie. You know, like it is just interesting how that aspect of the game has changed, and I wonder if that's part of where the gamesmanship goes to, right? Is because the shit talking is designed to break your opponent, right? Get into his head and take him out of his rhythm. There was a lot of artistry in that, and I don't know if that happens as much anymore.
I don't think it does at all. Like these guys are all friends, right? I think the best place to see it is in the NBA.
Yeah,
It's just such a different league, even from the Kobe era. Much less the Jordan days, right? Like it's just not the same. Everybody's best friends now, right?
yeah. And NBA is a good example. But like one of the few guys that I feel like really has that edge still, and like it kind of again, dude, it used to really teeter on the edge of like the NBA was physical as fuck back in the day, and there's none of that now. And I think part of it goes, but like Nikola Jokic still plays kind of that we're not friends like dirty kind of style of fucking basketball too. I'm sure there's others, but he's like the one guy that I watch right now that still reminds me. And I'm not an NBA guy by any means, per se,
You
live
got
and in person.
That Eastern European thing, man.
Yeah,
They don't shit.
dude. Have you seen about the NBA's wishes to like get an NBA Europe League going and all that? And then I just see like the international NFL games. Like, is there ever not enough for these people? It's just crazy to me the
No.
reach and desire for it's revenue streams, right? That's all you hear. Additional revenue streams. But like, what what is wrong with the product you have here? Um, do you remember NFL Europe back in the day? Like you're a little bit older than me. You probably have like a little bit more to remember about that. But like
Yeah.
what was that ever? It was only like 6 or 8 teams, right? It was always very small. But like, did they really have an initiative to like get a full league going, or was their vision always just like that? Because it lasted quite a while. I thought, at least relative to some of these other startup leagues and whatnot. But Um, it I just remember I was very young at that time, but it just seemed like such an odd fucking concept to have it be branded like NFL Europe across an ocean.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot
Yeah,
more.
no, I think they wanted to, but I mean, like anything else in our world is like follow the money, right? If it was profitable, they would have done it,
Yeah.
you know.
You know
I
what's
mean,
crazy?
you ask like I'll put it like this, okay? I think, and I know this has come up in a few sort of settings and movies and stuff. When you say like, is there ever enough? Like the answer is no for some of these folks, bro. I don't think that the average person grasps the difference between a million and a billion.
100%.
Like a million seconds is 12 days.
Yeah.
A billion seconds is almost 32 years.
Yeah. I I think about that a lot because of money, right? Like it
Right.
is. It's so it's not and even on a smaller scale, right? Like for me, I would like in the same thing, a million to a billion. I'm out here trying to buy a car, right? And I'm looking at a modest 3 row a Honda Pilot is what I'm going to end up right with. So I just whatever. It's a $50,000 pretty modest family vehicle. I'm not going with the Trail Sport and none of the high end trim packages. But then I look at people who are no different than me and people that I know their financial situation, relatively, and like they're driving an $85,000 Toyota Sequoia TRD Sport or, a fucking Duramax 2500 putting
Mm-hmm.
$6.50 diesel in it now. It makes me wonder how these people do it. And the only thing I can think is they must be putting the rest of their life on a credit card. But same thing, like I
Right.
just to me, like a $50,000 vehicle is already ridiculous. But I see, as I'm shopping and just like familiarizing myself with the price of these vehicles and taking a mental log of how many of these things you see driving around, you realize not just is a million so much different than a billion, but in regular everyday life, there are apparently a lot more people with a lot more money than you fucking realize. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yeah, for sure.
That's something else that is like kind of eye opening to me recently, and I mean I feel like a lot of people are kind of seeing that as life has gotten more expensive and the disparity between the haves and haves not grows. But anyway, that's some negative shit. So you don't so that I'm kind of back to books for a second. I'm just curious because I haven't read a book in quite some time, but I decided I'm a nonfiction only guy. I can't really do too much of fiction, but when you do fiction based around real science, so like The Martian was a fantastic movie. I've never read the book,
One,
but right now I'm
yeah.
reading Project Hail Mary, and then I'll go see the movie eventually. But I mean, I can't put this one down, dude. It's very interesting. But to me, it's a great blend of Interstellar did the same type of thing for me. Like that was a great movie, and I understand it's not you know entirely realistic, but they have enough realistic elements to it to like give it that authentic feel. Same thing here. So I don't know if anybody else
Interstellar is
is.
my favorite movie of all time.
Say that again.
Interstellar is my favorite movie of all
Your
time.
favorite movie? It's not my favorite, but it's my favorite is Saving Private Ryan, but Interstellar definitely ranks right up there for me. Um, So what makes it your favorite movie of all time? Anything specific
It
about it,
has
or
it has everything. I mean, it's got an incredible soundtrack that goes perfectly with it. It's got sci-fi. It's got comedy. It's got, you know what I mean. It's got literally it's got stuff that tugs at your heart. Everything you want in a movie, it has.
and so another and movies like that are interesting too because I think uh, one part of a movie, another movie that I really love is Armageddon, right? And so it's not the same, but when you look at these movies that are done well. There's been plenty of other ones like The Day After Tomorrow or whatever, but some of these, apocalyptic movies are things that deal with like humanity and their existence or wiping out humanity on a large like those movies kind of make you think a little bit differently than a movie that has, a specific storyline about one tiny little thing that happens to a person or a small subset of people in society. You know what I mean? Like that's something where I guess space movies and things like that when you deal with the Earth as a whole kind of wrap me in a little bit more than some of that other shit. But I think you're right. Like and this is where like I asked you that because books are interesting to me. Now, I don't love to read, but when you read things about you know events that have actually happened, you can just get so much more out of a book that they're really eye opening. It peels back the cover on things that in a way that nothing else really can. Um,
Right.
so anyway, that was just my plug. Like again, tying a book into a movie, but I know it's a pretty popular movie right now, so I don't know who else in the league has maybe seen Project Hail Mary, but don't ruin it for me because I still got about 25 pages left in the book, and then my wife has to read it before I go see the movie. But any are you a movie buff or do you not? So like some people. Do you ever go to the fucking theater anymore? I haven't been to a movie theater in probably a decade.
I haven't been in a long time,
Yeah,
mainly because it's so expensive.
it is so goddamn
Um,
expensive.
and if you want to take if I want to take my three kids and myself, it's $150. I mean, that's absurd, you know.
Yeah,
So we're more like, I'll rent them at home or I'll. But I used to enjoy going to movies alone,
yeah, same dude.
like and just immerse myself in it.
That dude, that was like when I was in the Navy. That was only one of the few nice things about the base. Like there was a base theater, and they would show not they would show movies that had previously run in theaters. You know, and still new movies, but not the new current releases. But you could go see those movies for fucking $2, and it was $2 popcorn, $2 soda. Like the Navy
That's
wasn't
awesome.
great, but there were certain things like that. That would have been the last time I was like a theater regular, which would have been like 08, 09. But um, the last movie that I know that I went and saw in theaters. Did you ever see The Finest Hour? Um, it was I'm not calling it a biopic, but it's about Winston Churchill and in World War
I think I
II.
saw a preview, but I don't know that I actually watched it.
It,
Um,
yeah,
for me personally, World War II feels like done.
yeah,
Like I'm just kind of like, I mean, like I said, it's a personal sort of thought process of like once I sort of know a story, I'm like, okay.
sure, yeah, right. Um, that's interesting because I guess I'm kind of the opposite in a way. Like, so again, reading a lot of nonfiction, I enjoy war books, but uh, I've read quite a few um, biographies or personal accounts of guys' time in the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and all that. But like, um, it's crazy, dude. When they tell you the details about these things, I don't know, man. It's just so wild to like put yourself not in their shoes, but you just can't imagine this shit. We're lucky enough to live here and like not have the worries and the burdens that a lot of people around the world live with. And so like when you really do like stop and examine some of the craziness that goes on, it's fucking utter insanity, dude. It's just unbelievable that we all live on the same planet sometimes
Yeah, it doesn't
when
even seem like real life, honestly, for
yeah.
what happens in some of these other places.
Um, did you? I know Pat didn't like it. I'm not. Did you see Tuddy the other day called Cross Kyle, like Chris Kyle from?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty good, man. That was
I
actually
thought it was
creative, but
hilarious.
that was another good movie. Bradley Cooper is one of my favorite actors, so I thought American Sniper was good. Um, did you
Dude, I
ever?
love. By the way, off topic, I love Teddy.
T-
One of my favorite people, man.
Yeah, he's funny. I wish. Yeah, again, I'm not. I think did Pirate have a kid recently? Like within the last this game? So
No, well, did he? Yeah, no, I think
I
I
thought he
thought Teddy
did.
did.
Thought he did. Okay,
I
I
thought it
knew
was.
one of them did, but obviously we haven't seen Pirate as much this season, and that's fine. I'm sure he's got his own thing going on. But you bringing up Tutty, he's funny as shit. But when you get those two going in a live chat and riffing off of each other, that is some of the more entertaining content that we get. But Tutty's good shit. I love that guy. All right, dude. It's 12:40 here. I mean, we've been at it for a little while now. What are we going on, an hour and 20? That's probably enough for now. People got plenty to consume, but we're back in business. I got all my personal shit sorted out, so we'll not make the next hiatus be quite as long. How did your game end up with Freak? Did you win?
Yeah, 34-14. Dude, Notre Dame is so good. I've never. I mean, good lord, it's like I said. I mean, I'm not playing around when I say it's like going from a Fiat to a Maserati. Like
Did you even throw the ball, or did you just ground and pound that?
I think I ran for 220,
Pretty impressive to do
which I
against an
mean
Oregon defense. I mean,
that's how I play anyway.
yeah, well, that's why I was curious because that's more your style. So like, there's probably no need for you to put the ball in the air too much with them.
No, and the defense. I mean, it's just so fast. I mean, there's so much speed. Like it's insane. I mean, it's insane to even like the some of those high end teams. It's crazy. I mean, so when you see like again like a Syracuse beating a Clemson or some Central Michigan beating a Michigan, like it's crazy. I don't think we appreciate those enough because the gaps in rating is so massive and just player to player in depth and uh, it's such a huge difference.
I'm just looking at the playoff bracket one more time again. So yeah, we're wrapping up here, but I definitely plan to get us back together here again sooner rather than later, and talk about the season as we get into conference championship and the playoff here. But I'll just ask you right now and have you go on record if you had to pick Ohio State and Texas versus the other 10. Do you think Jiggy and D Kennedy keep it amongst them, or do you think maybe Smitty at Kansas or Shell at Oregon can go? Well, Kansas has won one, but Smitty hasn't won one yet, and Shell and Oregon haven't won one yet since we came back. But and obviously there's 8 others there too. But do you think it's still probably one of those two guys, or do you think somebody else can pop through now?
I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's probably one of those two guys, just because a those are probably the two best rosters on the game.
Yeah,
B, they're probably arguably two of the best users in the league. You know what I mean? Like that combination is just so hard to overcome.
yeah.
I'll tell you who I'll be rooting for.
Go ahead.
My rooting interest is going to be in the field, and not because those aren't good guys, but just I'd rather see a little bit of chaos. I'd rather see something new.
You're gonna take
But
my
like
guy. I already
Georgia,
know it. Oh, Georgia.
Georgia, Missouri, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Um,
Give me one of those three, and I'll be stoked.
there you go. So I think same thing like you said. I mean, the only way I could see probably Ohio State or Texas not winning it would it involve good turnover luck in the title game. You know what I mean? You definitely have to have
Mhm.
turnover margin in your favor. But if I had to pick one guy that I'd like to see win it, I think it would be pretty cool to see Big Red take Mizzou. Again, I think that's a tall task, but if I just had to look at the field now, I'm going to root for Syracuse to pull an upset, uh, just because I think that's it's fun to root for the underdog. I think the Mizzou JMU matchup in the first round, as it stands now, would be just fun to watch in general. But I'll go with Big Red as my guy. Where if I had to see somebody pull off a run and it be not one of those guys, however unlikely, it would be cool to see that happen. But um,
Yeah, he's a fun stream, and what I like, what I like about Big Red Man is he's always positive.
yeah, yeah,
Like in
absolutely.
the chat, like he's always got something like cool to say, like fun to say. Like he's never in there like crying. With because I'm not knocking anybody that does. I've done my fair share, but
Fair enough.
I like how positive he is.
Absolutely. All right, dude. Well, we'll wrap it up. But again, it's good to be back. It's good to talk to you. It's been a little while. Um, there's probably plenty of more league content to cover, but we've got plenty of friends that are also doing that for us. Again, uh, always enjoy tuning into game day, the outliers, etc. But appreciate you getting on with me. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in to listen with us along the way live here, and anybody who will tune in to the Spotify stream. Matt, it's been a pleasure, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
See, but
All right, bud. Peace.